Hey, honestly, I'll be quick with this video, like usual. Haven't gotten much done this week. Weekend, to be fair. Uh, what I want to say is because I'm sick, but I think largely I was just being lazy. But I think with Monday coming up, I have some stuff I have to work on with getting some work clearances and doing some stuff for the entrepreneur project. So I am going to get back into my streak of being busy, I guess. But it's been nice to kind of like slow down a bit, just relax, not even have that much on my mind. Um, but yeah, I will say though, I kind of want to get back into reading. I'm in a book club. I haven't been able to keep up with any of the books so far. So we have a meeting coming up next week or the week after. So I want to try and be able to read the book before then. They're really short books, so I don't think I should have a problem with that. I don't know, I feel like I just want to read more. 'Cause I think it's so. I think the person I am now, right, largely has been founded on my faith, and like largely has been founded on my faith, but it's also I think a good portion from that foundational layer of my faith has also come from the media I've consumed. So like a lot of cool ideas and cool stuff I've worked on is really just amalgamations of the media I've consumed, and I think that's really cool. Cause I remember like in sometimes even middle school or high school, I'll give an idea and people are like, oh wow, that's a good idea, blah blah blah. But it's something I saw on the show that combined with something else, and I like gave a unique spin to adapt to the current situation. So I want to try getting back that new like layer of different ideas and just enjoy some media. So I remember I already talked about some different mangas I'm trying to get into. Obviously, The Vagabond. I think the other one was Gaikukucha. I can never say the name. So different stuff here and there. I know the new Dan Dan anime came out, so I've been keeping up with that, which is really nice. So obviously that's not a book, but I'm trying to get back into more different unique shows, different media, particularly books. But yeah, honestly, the reason I'm talking about books in the first place is kind of wanted to transition to a conversation I had with my friend the other day over at a dinner, and we talk about different stuff in the tech industry going on with AI and all the fun Tesla stuff, anything like that. And then we'll talk about something. Well, we'll talk about the idea of creativity. And he mentioned like this thing of how he kind of wants to build something that's he he basically talked about abstract art and back again. So I had to cut away for something real quick. Anyways, he was talking about how in abstract museums, essentially, there's a tendency for people to say, "Oh, I could easily make that and whatnot," and then he argued that largely that's not true because what goes into these stuff is that it goes into years of training, creativity, even choosing direction, which I also do think is true. Um, but he made a point that what he does like though is that kind of inspires people to try that on their own. Like, oh, I can easily make that, and then go taking the effort out of your day to say, okay, prove that point, right? And he wants to create something like that, and it kind of inspires me to do something similar, right? I feel like this is actually where I mentioned the idea of Spider Verse. So like when for those who don't know, Spider Verse is there's this movie called Into the Spider Verse, right? And when it first came out, a large thing that happened in the art community was that a lot of people were creating their own spider sonas, their own variations of the Spider-Man character, because the idea of the movie was that anyone can be Spider-Man, and there's a whole slew of variants. So I kind of like the idea that the movie was not just only a good piece of media for people to enjoy because of the theme, but also inspire people to create their own pieces of media. So I think that's something I want to do with at least one of my pieces of work. I don't know what it will look like yet, but I think inspiring people to make something just because they saw what you did is something that's really cool. I know I've done that through teaching, I guess, in a way, but I think it is a piece of media or something, but like even if it's a program, an app, something that just inspires people to create just by seeing it. I don't even have to be there. It's just the product starts its own chain, I guess, or its own I don't want to say cycle, but its own path, or just different branches of people creating their own stuff. I think would be really awesome. So then that's the idea that it's still a concept in my head, but I think it's going to form into something really cool later on. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I can't really explain why the idea is so attractive to me. It's something I think is really cool. Right off the bat, some stuff I think that could happen. Maybe, and this is something I think I've talked about before on this channel, but like a Pinterest version of both like coding stuff. So I know a lot of people, including myself, are always trying to improve their programming skills, but like there is, when it comes to ideas, it's hard to find ideas on what to code, right? Because then you obviously have like the billion-dollar ideas of like building these apps and whatnot, but sometimes you don't want to invest that much time into a coding project. So then maybe having like a Pinterest for code, just like simple coding stuff, would be really cool. I know like I saw my computer science club, their social media made like the social media manager made a program to replicate this meme based on Instagram. So maybe stuff like that, just seeing those type of stuff inspires you to create your own small program that can just like, it doesn't have to be anything significant or impactful, just does something small and maybe even funny. I think would be really interesting. I know that's the effect Pinterest kind of had on me, especially in my younger days when I was more into drawing and animating, where I'll see a really cool piece of media or really cool piece of drawing or whatever, and I'm like, oh dang, now I want to draw. So maybe something like that, maybe an app like that could be really helpful. Maybe even, I don't know, if I did do, like for example, if a final episode of Project Phillips or something like that, if I was able to do something where I show a bunch of different programs throughout the final episode that were really cool, maybe like someone could get this idea, like, oh dang, I like that dude's idea, but if I did it in my own life and applied it to this problem I'm having, maybe that could be a way to kind of take on that theme of inspiring others to create. Maybe even designing a hackathon or a game jam, stuff like that could be its own way of inspiring people to create stuff. So there's countless ways to kind of tackle that concept. So I'm excited to see how it forms for me. I'm just saying it because I think that's largely how a lot of stuff I do work, right? With Project Phillips, it was probably a concept for about a year or two before I even thought of it. And it kind of, the way I think at least, is that concepts form in my head, and it's like slowly and slowly different stuff get acquired here and there, and then the idea slowly forms until it pops up into my head, and I decide to create it or not. And then you get stuff like Project Phillips, which has been going on for like, I think about a year. And I don't like grab the watch, I think it was I have no idea, but yeah, that's where I am right now. Really happy with a bunch of cool stuff I'm doing. I think I already mentioned earlier in the video the interview I got to do with the with Danny for the Strength in Christ YouTube channel. I don't know, I messed up that name, but it's a really cool interview. I recommend you check it out when it comes out, and check out the other videos. I really think it's really cool to see different people's perspectives about their journey and walking in their faith, because everyone comes from a different background. So it's really awesome to see that. I'm laughing because so for the dorm TV, for the Fire TV, I logged into my YouTube account. I was trying to find the name of the YouTube channel for the Christ Strength in Christ thing. And I was looking through my watch history, and then I saw like a bunch of karaoke videos. I was so confused. Then I left my YouTube account on the Fire TV, so I can tell that people in the dorm, the Sutherland dorm right now, are doing karaoke, which is really funny. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. A lot of cool stuff are happening. You have the entrepreneur competition coming up. You have a game jam coming up. I just finished up some interview with Danny for Strength in Christ channel. Everyone should check that out. A lot of cool stuff happening here and there. Working on the DP20 certificate, working on some website stuff, trying to get more into reading. And yeah, and kind of took a nice break unintentionally, but you know, if it works, it works. Okay, besides that though, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.